LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar. Oh my God, transcendent. Oh my goodness, generational. Oh my goodness, so on and so forth. You guys do all the talking, all the yapping. Twitter fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373 people.
Angel Reese is out here begging folks to buy tickets like she's selling Girl Scout cookies during a blizzard. And spoiler alert, the seats are emptier than a politician's promise. What happened to the hype? Where did the fans go? Did they all suddenly discover badminton? Stick around because this drama is hotter than a courtside meltdown and twice as awkward. Trust me, you won't believe how fast the Bayou Barbie went from viral to crickets. Let's dive in.
No, you don't. You want to watch her in social media land. I'm going to remind you, you love the influencer that is Angel Reese. You love what she wears. You love how she carries herself. That's fine. You're entitled to do that. You're entitled to that. It's your right to like who you like and all that shit. But you don't really love Angel Reese, the basketball player. You don't. You say you do, but you don't show it. You don't show it. How do you show something when you don't watch or play games? There's a reason that TV ratings exist. And I've had all the comments around TV ratings saying, nobody talked about TV ratings before this.
Angel Reese, Miss Viral Sensation herself, has officially completed the influencer to invisible fan base pipeline. The self-proclaimed queen of the court just realized that TikTok followers don't magically teleport into bleacher seats. Who would have thought? Apparently not Angel, who recently took a break from modeling, brand deals, and throwing shade online to play an underrated sport called basketball.
I did not realize that the Chicago Sky were also playing the Brazilian national team at LSU. Oh my goodness. Oh, hellfire.
You know, the one that supposedly made her famous in the first place. And now she's out here practically handing out flyers like a guy promoting a failed comedy club on a Tuesday night. Tragic. Let's take a moment to appreciate this full circle moment. Just a year ago, Angel Reese was everywhere. She was the poster child for NIL deals, flipping the double bird to traditional sports culture with more endorsements than a NASCAR vehicle. GQ, Vogue, Coach, Amazon. She had more sponsors than she had field goals in some games.
What are you talking about? TV ratings are literally how TV networks make deals with leagues. What do you think it's based on? Some freaking number that's pulled out of the sky? Don't you think that if the WNBA had been getting a lot more viewership, they would have gotten a lot more than $220 million over 11 years from the NBA? Of course they would have. And if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark coming into the league this year, that number would have been a lot less. Instead, they got what they got because of Caitlin Clark's skewing the numbers. She changed the actual numbers. So let's not sit here and delude ourselves. This had nothing to do with Angel Reese.
She was courtside royalty, dominating timelines with TikToks, Instagram Lives, and enough glam shots to make the Kardashians feel underexposed. But now, she's begging people to buy tickets like she's slinging mixtapes in Times Square. The arena's so empty, the Echoes got better attendance than the fans. If silence was a person, it would have been sitting front row at LSU's last game, eating popcorn and enjoying the free Wi-Fi.
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball.
And this wasn't just a case of, oh, maybe people are late. No, this was empty. Like the kind of empty that makes staff consider downsizing the nacho cheese order. Even the janitors look confused. Wait, is this a scrimmage? A practice? A fever dream? But let's not be too harsh. After all, who wouldn't assume that 2 million Instagram followers equals sold-out stadiums? Oh, right. Literally anyone who's ever looked at social media engagement metrics and thought, maybe likes don't pay the rent. But for Angel, this must have been the plot twist of the century. So what did she do? She got on social media, again, and started pleading with fans to buy tickets. That's right, full-blown desperation mode. The same Angel Reese who strutted through March Madness with all the subtlety of a peacock on Red Bull now finds herself reduced to cold calling the internet like a telemarketer trying to meet her quota. This is the part where the story should pivot to a Cinderella comeback, right? Except it doesn't, because this isn't a fairy tale. It's a very awkward, very public reality check. You can dress it up in glitter, put a Barbie chain on it, and slap a motivational caption underneath, but the seats are still empty, and the hype is still fading. Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Remember the height of Angel Mania, when every network couldn't get enough of her finger wagging, her unapologetic sass, her post-game tweets that were louder than the actual games?
But you didn't watch, so you wouldn't even know, because you never watch. You never watch. Even when it's on free TV, you still don't watch. You complain about it being on WNBA League Pass. You complain about this. You complain about that. There's always a complaint. There's always a problem. There's always something to complain about. Y'all fans, y'all some the fake. Y'all fake. You're fake. You love Angel Reese because you want to smash. Good luck. It ain't ever gonna happen. Because you know that if any man shot 39% from the field, from 3 feet from the rim, you would call that guy the biggest piece of garbage on the face of the earth.
He was the anti-hero that college basketball didn't know it needed and quickly didn't know what to do with. Brands were lining up like it was Black Friday, and Angel was the last flat screen on the shelf. Everyone wanted a piece. They weren't investing in basketball, they were investing in the moment, the vibe, the virality. Because why support consistent athletic talent when you can ride the wave of someone dunking on their haters and hashtagging it into the stratosphere? But here's the thing about waves. They crash, and when they do, all that's left is soggy sand and the faint smell of regret. This season was supposed to be the victory lap, the encore, the sequel that breaks box office records. And yet there she was, throwing out ticket pleas like a grandma trying to get you to eat more casserole. The irony here is almost poetic. Angel Reese became the poster child for what happens when fame outpaces performance. She spent so long being everywhere that when it came time to actually fill seats, people suddenly remembered they had other plans. Laundry, traffic, Sudoku. The silence in those stands said what no angry tweet ever could. Social media isn't a substitute for substance. You can ride the hype train all the way to the station, but if nobody gets off, was there even a journey?
Going to win. So, for the first time in a long time, Fee Collier actually kind of cooked Angel Reese.
And let's be honest, this wasn't just about Angel. It's about the entire facade of what we've been told to expect. LSU thought they had a Beyoncé on the roster and forgot that even Beyoncé sells tickets. She doesn't beg for them. There's a difference between being famous and being a draw. Meanwhile, the school rolled out marketing campaigns like they were selling a Marvel movie. Posters, promos, video edits that looked like Oscar trailers. And still, nothing. Not even a slow clap. At some point, they probably considered giving out free iPads with every seat. Desperate times, and yes, those are important conversations. But maybe, just maybe, the issue here is simpler. Maybe people just don't feel like showing up to watch an influencer cosplay as an athlete when the game's been mid, the attitude's been extra, and the drama's been nonstop. Because while Angel was busy chasing sponsorships and curating her unbothered aesthetic, actual basketball fans were out here trying to figure out if this team was even worth the gas money. Now let's talk numbers. While Angel Reese was cashing NIL checks, LSU's attendance was plummeting faster than her shot percentage during a cold streak. Ticket sales weren't just slow, they were stuck in reverse. You know it's bad when the team starts offering discounts like a Black Friday mattress sale. Buy one seat, get 4 empty ones free.
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
And it's not like she's a rookie at this. This is her victory lap, remember? The return, the redemption arc, the moment where she was supposed to silence critics with a packed house and a monster game. Instead, she was silent. Literally, you could hear the sound of the concession stand closing early because no one was around to buy stale nachos. So what now? Does Angel go full grassroots campaign and start knocking on doors like a desperate city council candidate? Hi, have you heard the good news about LSU women's basketball? Should she offer Starbucks gift cards for attendance? Free selfies with every hot dog purchase? Here's a tip, maybe dial down the attitude and turn up the hustle. On the court, not just on social media, because it turns out fans show up for effort, not ego. They want underdogs, not underwhelming divas with a PR team. And yes, let's address the painfully awkward elephant in the room. Caitlin Clark. While Angel was out here begging for butts and seats, Clark was packing arenas like she was touring with Taylor Swift. You can hear the faint sobbing of Angel's publicist in the distance.
Chicago Sky versus Minnesota last night, and I understand that it is the last preseason game, but boy, how they tried to pad them stats for Angel Reese, because she had bad stats going to the fourth quarter.
Why? Because Clark actually built her draw on something radical: performance. She didn't just talk the talk. She walked it, sprinted it, and shot it from the logo. She didn't rely on headlines, she earned them. Meanwhile, Angel tried to coast on last season's buzz like it was a Black Eyed Peas reunion tour. Spoiler, no one asked. Even worse, she's now competing with her own shadow. The hype she built is now the bar she can't reach. It's like watching a movie that had a great trailer, but the plot is 90% filler and one explosion. And the worst part is, she's not even in the WNBA yet. Imagine the draft speech. With the 7th pick, we select Angel Reese. Please clap. Teams aren't just scouting talent anymore. They're checking Instagram engagement like it's a stat line. And when your strongest skill is being known, that's a rough scouting report. Maybe this season will be her wake-up call. Maybe the deafening sound of those empty seats will finally get through. Or maybe she'll just double down on posting videos with motivational captions like "real ones know," while the bleachers continue to resemble a ghost town. At the end of the day, you can't build a dynasty on hashtags. You can't fill stadiums with sass.
Don't you think that if the WNBA had been getting a lot more viewership, they would have gotten a lot more than $220 million over 11 years from the NBA? Of course they would have. And if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark coming into the league this year, that number would have been a lot less. Instead, they got what they got because of Caitlin Clark's skewing the numbers. She changed the actual numbers. But let's not sit here and delude ourselves. This had nothing to do with Angel Reese, because y'all, her fans, you suck. You don't watch her. You don't care about her. You just care about the cause that is her. You care about the fact that you cannot stand the fact that that lily white girl out of Iowa is the needle mover. She's the box office attraction.
And you definitely can't replace hard-earned respect with hot takes and hair flips. The court doesn't care how many likes you got last week. It just wants to know if you can deliver today. And here's the kicker. The fan base actually wanted her to succeed. People were ready. The spotlight was hers. But instead of grinding it out, she curated an image and hoped no one would notice the cracks in the foundation. She thought clout was currency. Turns out, it's just confetti. It looks great for 5 seconds, then it's just trash on the floor. So here's to Angel Reese, the influencer trapped in a basketball player's jersey. The marketing phenomenon who forgot the sport that got her there. And the cautionary tale for every future college star who thinks 1 million followers means 1 million fans. But just when you thought the saga couldn't get more dramatic than a soap opera at a high school pep rally, Angel Reese popped back up, because of course she did, after the internet's not-so-silent response to her "please come to my games, I swear it'll be fun" moment. The queen of clapbacks had some subtle smoke to offer. Not exactly an apology tour, this is Angel Reese, after all, but a few cryptic "I'm still that girl" gestures scattered across Instagram stories like motivational confetti. Because nothing boosts ticket sales like a selfie with a pout and a filter that screams "Delulu but determined."
And you wonder why you have the least amount of fans showing up in attendance at your games. That all has something to do with it. You're not relatable. You're not likable. People only hear from you when you showing half off, your body, or you're showing off what you're wearing, right? Trying to make a fashion statement. You're showing off your new weave. It's so unbelievable. You're showing off your new lashes, right? But you don't talk basketball never.
Now, in true influencer turned athlete turned influencer again fashion, Reese has been dangling a carrot the size of a WNBA rookie contract. Is she going pro? Is she staying? Is she opening a boutique selling bedazzled water bottles and faux lashes named after her mid-range jumper? No one knows, but we do know this. She's mastered the art of keeping people guessing, which is exactly what you do when the seats are so empty you could hear a paper straw drop. Resilience? Absolutely. Charisma? In abundance. Strategy? Well, that's a little fuzzier. Instead of cooking up plays on the court, it looks like she's cooking up something else. Maybe a NIL rebrand involving eyelashes, attitude, and some good old-fashioned wishful thinking. There's even buzz that she might start her own podcast, because of course she would. Because nothing screams comeback season like screaming into a mic about haters and manifesting 5,000 ticket sales while your team quietly prays for a decent attendance next Thursday. Now, to be fair, because we're nothing if not fair and wildly sarcastic, there have been some glimmers of hope since she practically begged for butts and seats.
This was a preseason WNBA game. Do you understand what I mean? A preseason WNBA game. By the way, why the hell is the Paige Beckers and Angel Reese ratings from Ion Network Friday, why are they MIA right now?
A small surge in ticket sales here, a local business throwing in free fries with every purchase there. Let's not be picky. Support is support, even if it comes with chaperones and juice boxes. And if all else fails, maybe it's time to borrow a page from the NFL's playbook and team up with Taylor Swift. I mean, if a few glances from Swift could turn Travis Kelce into America's tight end sweetheart, imagine what a halftime performance with Taylor could do for LSU's crowd numbers. Just picture it. Angel and Taylor side by side, surrounded by fireworks and 8th grade girls holding glitter signs that say, Swifty Reese forever. Angel Reese isn't the villain here. She's just the poster child of a system still trying to turn TikTok clout into turnstile clicks. And maybe, just maybe, toss in a decent win streak. Because when you spend your offseason building a brand instead of a legacy, don't act surprised when the only people showing up are the ones looking for free Wi-Fi. But hey, at least she still has Instagram. Because while the seats are empty, the selfie game is strong. And in the end, isn't that what really matters? Now, if you'll excuse us, we're off to not buy LS. Seems like they've got enough open space without us.